Hey guys, welcome to HKC 217 podcast, powered by All Seasons Energy. This podcast was brought to you by Ohvale UK and PHR Performance. And as we roll into what episode?
Hold on a minute, as we roll in, that's my part.
Alright,
so as we roll in to episode 21, this is going to be the final episode probably that we're going to do before Christmas. So in this episode we are going to cover
what is time at PHR Performance and what we did there, and we had a tour around there and stuff. And then it is time at Motorcycle Live.
Yeah. Also, when we went down to PHR Performance, AK invited us for a little tour. We didn't know this was going to happen round FHO racing, which was super cool as well. So, as I said, as we roll in, episode 21. So, yeah, because Hudson won the Ohvale 110 Championship last year, I believe they did it with Wilson Dilks' bike. Yeah. They had the bike on display down at the Motorcycle Live show. So, Pete messaged us a couple of weeks after Hudson had won, saying, we need you to come and drop off the bike. And would you display it down at Motorcycle Live, which was super cool. So obviously we had to go and drop off the bikes down at PHR Performance, and we asked Pete if he'd be interested in doing a podcast with Hudson and also having a little bit of a tour. Well, he said that I'd take you a little bit of a tour round his workshop, which it's not exactly a workshop, it's like a big bike place, really. Yeah, they've just moved in this place actually, so it were unbelievable. 2 units big. They were still doing work on
the second one,
the second unit. So, we wanted to cover that for Hudson's documentary with Motion Focus Media. So I didn't want to be like holding the phone as we were touring around it, because I obviously wanted to watch it. So it kind of worked out perfect that Motion Focus were down there like recording it, which kind of made it a little bit better for both of us, being able to just
experience it
and take it all in. So it was super cool. So Pete took us round the workshop, what they've got like a full setup there. So there was like a garage area. Yeah. What else was there?
There were like garage area, like a full dyno room.
Full dyno room, all enclosed. That was super
cool. An engine room which had like all engine stuff in it, and like all engine racks. It had like 2 mounts with menu.
That was cool, weren't it?
Yeah, and it was like on a.
So we've got all this footage. I'll try and drop in some of this footage that we've got. So in the engine room, which were amazing. Like they had like a tiered, like a shelving tier, like on a trolley, which had somebody's engine all in shelves, all like separated, where they kept it all together. That was super cool. Individual engines all like stacked up together. Not just Ohvale engines. This were like general motorbikes. Obviously, Pete said to us. I think he said it in. When we interview him, saying that a lot of people come to him with BMW bikes.
BMW, yeah. But they do everything.
They do everything down there.
Yeah, they do everything.
Before we went into that room, there was like a workshop room, which fast forwarding a little bit, when you look in Pete's like workshop room, and then we went down to FHO racing.
Yeah.
They were like nearly identical, weren't they, really?
Yeah.
Like a proper workshop, all like tools out, multiple bikes up. I think his trooper bike. Like super cool bike. Somebody had a bike there that can you remember that bike? It was up on the rack. It had like thousands of pounds of carbon fibre wheels. This was not even a race. This wasn't even a race bike. This was somebody's normal bike. Like wow.
And he said, Pete said they asked for like nearly everything carbon fibre. So like
no
full carbon fibre.
Unbelievable.
Like swing arms and wheels
to see the bike
and stuff
up on the stands and everything were like super cool. People were working on the bikes there. Somebody were having a Gas Monkey like replica bike, weren't they?
And they were
doing the decals.
Measuring and doing stickers.
Oh man, it was like
crazy.
Sticker heaven.
Yeah.
So in the back room they had the engine thing. Sorry to distract. So they had a engine room. They had a machining room.
Yes. So it had like a clean room, an engine room, a machine room.
Suspension room.
Suspension room. That
oh my gosh, unbelievable. So we went all around there, went upstairs into
kind
of like Pete's like changing room, He's not finished actually, yeah.
They're still like doing some finishing touches, aren't
But yeah, in this room upstairs, I think this is in one of the clips as well, that he had like all his TT levers hung up. He had his TT like I forgot the proper name now. So the like wreath thing that they put round.
Yeah, like the
proper TT wreath.
They've actually made it of proper leaves, aren't they?
Yeah, they had all them, all these leathers up there, all these different helmets and whatever not. Yeah, and you were going to say that this like we're going to be one of his rooms where he keeps all this stuff. Obviously, he's got like multiple suits, multiple helmets and whatever not. Multiple suits for different sponsors as well. Obviously, he rides different bikes for like Northwest, TT and whatever not. Not only his FHO stuff. So that room like pretty cool being in there. He also said that actually that we'll probably come down again when they finish the lobby area, because he says he's having all his leathers hung up. He says he's got so much stuff down there. All these levers hung up on the wall.
Yeah, and then you can't forget about that other side that they're going to be doing. So they're going to move some of that stuff from in there, or bring some other stuff. I think they still taking stuff from the other warehouse. So
one of our friends, Nick Weston, if you want to check as well, have a little look for that. So if you search for NW Racing, they did a tour. I think it was a couple of years ago. Nick Weston and Zyke. They did a tour around Pete's old. The other unit that they had there, so you can see the stuff, and half of that stuff's not even up at this place yet. So like, it's going to be like super cool, unbelievable, like proper reception, really good. Few Ohavle bikes on display. Super cool. Upstairs they had like a canteen that had a MV. What was that? An MV Augusta?
I don't know, but
in the like canteen area.
Yeah.
In the snack room.
Yeah. Yeah, and then upstairs as well there was I think a decal room.
A decal printing centre,
Decal, like, we walked in there and they had like two
GP190s, weren't there?
Yeah, two GP190s, and then in the other room there were the printers that RW have got. They had two of them.
Yeah.
Like, God knows mega. How much money they got.
Yeah, it was mega, absolutely mega. Then we went into Pete's office. Did he have a bike in his? Oh, he had a GP. Did he have a GP2 in his office?
A GP2, and then in his office he had a 12-inch 160. I'm sure there were one in there in the interview room that we did it in.
Yeah, in the interview room. So obviously, if you've not seen that, if you go back 2 episodes now, you can see the interview with where Hudson interviews him. Did a really good job of interviewing him. I think it's a really good like half-an-hour interview. So if you want to click in the description or look back on the podcast, you'll find it if you just search for HKC 217 Peter Hickman. I'm sure it'll pop up on YouTube. Yeah. Really good interview if you want to search for it on your audio podcast. So that's pretty cool. Then he like sprang on us saying, I think the guy from FHO Racing were like milling around a little bit, and he asked him just off of the cuff saying, is it alright if we take these round FHO Racing as well? So like it was literally just like through the estate. So we just jumped in car. We could have walked there, but it was close, better to drive.
Yeah.
We nipped there. And again, like another amazing thing in there, they had all the workshop, a couple of BSB bikes up.
Like up again, on the stands again.
Another proper workshop, like same as Hickey's one.
Really. Yeah, like the stands that they had, it weren't just like normal stand, it were like proper like big scissor lifts that went up. Like
yeah, they had like 2 or 3
high,
of them. Yeah. That was super cool in there, because I think that were like all the... No, he said to us that stuff stays there permanently, because I thought they'd take all that to like every BSB round, but that was like the permanent fixture in that garage, which we just thought were that bit, and then he took us in this like back room, and there were his Gas Monkey TT bike.
Yeah.
I think the Super Stock bike were there as well.
They
both
were
his FHO,
both his FHO things.
Oh, both there. FHO BSB bikes.
BSB
they were both
ones,
his. They were the other guy's bike there. So they were both there. He started it in that back room. Unbelievably.
We asked him, like, buttons on your bike and stuff, and we asked him about them, and he was talking us through buttons, and then he caught us unsurprised, didn't you?
I think we've got that on video as well. Yeah. So like Hudson were asking what type of mapping buttons that they do on the dash. Obviously, I think there was like 3 buttons probably on each
Three
side,
buttons
3 or 4.
on, like 3, 4, or 5 on
So he
each
like
handlebar.
went through them all and did this and that, and like kind of like surprised us because he went, and if you press this button, it starts it, and he just
No,
went,
yeah, he went. If this button turns on the electronics, and he went, zzz, and it started like fans started up, and then he went, this button turns it on, and it like took like proper loud.
like a BSB bike in a.
I
in
didn't
like
even give you a
room.
warning with like a starter mode. It just started instantly.
Yeah, so in that room as well, they had. I'm trying to think what bikes they had in there, but definitely had the gas. But I think they were both the TT winning bikes. Gas Monkey one. Were they both Gas Monkeys?
I can't remember, but we've got some pictures.
We've got some pictures anyway. So in there, both of them TT bikes were there. Obviously, as they won the races in the TT.
Yeah, still
covered,
had flies.
Covered in flies. Still had like the scrutineer in like a little lanyard, the little like the little band thing right handlebar. It were amazing. I was like, and we're asking like loads of questions. It were mint, weren't it?
Yeah, it were. That room were. It were good. It were good. Yeah, that room were.
What about when we talk about like 3D printing and all that as well? That was cool.
What like?
Where they were talking about how they like 3D printed like the rear sets and everything.
Yeah, like with like rear sets and like wings and stuff that they 3D printed before they made them properly.
Unbelievable.
And they just like pulled out like a full drawer like 3D printed things that they were testing
them out before they probably got them CNC machines.
CNC'd, yeah.
So that was super cool. What were best bit? Do you think it was best like good at FHO?
I think the best bit was like probably PHR Performance workshop, because it had like all different rooms to it. It weren't just like the workshop where they did all the like physical stuff on the bikes. It all had like you said, we walked into the actual workshop bit, and then in the back it were like like a little maze like through all different things. There were like a clean room, a wet room, like a cleaner room which the suspension guy used, a suspension room, engine room.
Yeah.
There were like a
full
cool set of rooms
that were cool, yeah.
That were all
he took us on the FHO.
Oh yeah, and
went on like the FHO like
lorry.
Like the lorry thing, yeah, like the not a lorry, I forgot what it's called now.
Motorhome? No,
not
a motorhome.
Is it? Anyway, like the team lorry.
Yeah, it is a lorry.
Which had like a living room in it, like one with the pods on it and whatever not. So we went up into that. He showed us how you could get upstairs on it, where they did the meetings. Did he show it sleeping bits in that?
He didn't show it sleeping bits, but there were. We went up into like the front bit where they have all the meetings and stuff.
They were cool.
And like the table comes out floor, and like seats go in.
Like a transformer.
It were.
So that pretty much like wraps up that. So you're going to see most of that footage in Hudson's like documentary that's hopefully going to be coming out before Christmas from Motion Focus Media, or you'll see clips of that. We've only got a few clips that I've got. Most of that footage is going to kind of get saved for the documentary thing because Richard.
Obviously, it's all going to come
recorded
out.
Recorded all that.
Yeah.
So that was that, and obviously we dropped off the Ohavle bike, and then a week later, we went down to Motorcycle Live a week later.
And
so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Managed to get, obviously Icky got us down there, got us tickets to go down there. We knew that it were going to be on display. Didn't really know what he had planned. Seen what he'd done last year.
Yeah.
They had the bikes on display. I think a little bit more prominent this year.
Yeah, because like last year they
were
all up on like high.
Wilson's were like up on a upper stand. This time there was a lot more prominent like Ohvale presence. So there were Hudson's bike. There were the Gas Monkey Ohvale replica.
Yeah.
And a GP2.
There were a Gas Monkey Ohvale replica, a GP2 next to it, and then on the floor for kids to sit on, there was a
190 and a 110, was it?
A 12-inch 190 and a 10-inch 110.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Floor, so kids could like jump on that, which were super busy. So we went on the Saturday, the opening day. Yeah, it was the opening day.
Opening day.
So that we were full both times we went, but the opening day were like mega full. We manned on Pete's stall with Hudson's Flyers, talking to loads of people about Ohvale bikes, kids like sitting on the bikes and whatever not. It was super cool day. Hudson were there, Alana handing out flyers, loads of people asking questions. it were proper cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we handed out loads of
250
flyers,
gone
talking
then.
to loads of people that were passing as well. That was super cool.
I think personally, I thought we had a lot more interaction than I thought we'd have, because I thought they wouldn't be. I thought we'd be like. I thought not a lot of people will come past, but we're on quite a busy bit.
Yeah,
like,
we were quite close to
Ducati, and we'd be at the end.
Yeah, what was it near now? Anyway, we're in a good spot, and it were pretty much always busy. Obviously, people coming to Pete's stand anyway. That were really good. Pete had all his merchandise on sale. Pete also had some of his bikes on show, some PHR Performance bikes. I think there were the Trooper bike.
Trooper bike were up there. They were
platter. That were cool.
Yeah.
So we're like super busy that day. Went round for a little bit of a tour ourselves, and we had a little bit of gap. I mean, like, we must have stopped on Icky's store, like, we must have been on there 4 hours.
Yeah, it were. I can't imagine what Icky feels like.
Well, Icky were there all week. Because Hudson was, so the next day, Sunday, we were doing Winter Series. I think that's right.
Yeah, I think that's right, because I can remember we went up to one stand, and there were a little mini moto thing, and I sat on it, and Zach were like, that'll be a lot slower than what you're riding.
So yeah, so we did that, and then
so I think it was next day. Yeah.
Obviously, we've covered the Winter Series, and we've covered the flat tracking, so that kind of all syncs a little bit together from what happened on last week's episode. So then on the Saturday, the week after, Hudson went flat tracking, and then Sunday we went back again. Back on Sunday.
On Sunday.
On the stand again.
Yeah, on the stand again, helping him out, and then when we went home, we obviously brought the helmet with us.
Yeah. So we had another day there, and again, like Peter had been there all week. I don't know how he'd done that. 6 days. 6 days. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 days.
So on the second time we went there, kind of had a little bit more time to ourselves. I wouldn't say it weren't as busy. I went up on the Arbor handing out flyers a little bit on the Ohvale stand.
Yeah.
Helping people out, asking questions. I mean, like, I must have spoke to like hundreds of people.
Luca and Steve Wilkinson.
Yeah, Luca and Steve Wilkinson come down, which is pretty cool.
Zach Weston came down as well.
Hudson got booked on to doing the electric motocross track. Hudson managed to get up on stage.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Won a like a quiz competition. I think Jack Newton did it actually the week or a few days before. So you had to like weave your hand.
Yeah,
you know the style, like a buzzer.
A buzzer thing, and you touch metal.
And there were only Hudson who were a kid doing it, like 7 other adults, and Hudson like smashed it, did it within 1 minute 50. I
got two buzzers, and everyone else were getting like 12 and 4 and stuff like that.
Yeah, you did it in like 1 minute 50 or something. Yeah. 2 buzzers, and other blokes like they didn't even really get close really. So that was super cool. Hudson up on stage with the like 10 other people, so that was really good because we're all watching that, so that was super cool. So I've got a bit of footage of that. That was super cool. Went round to Suron, went and sat on some other bikes, some other electric bikes. There were a load of people there. Did we see John McGuinness that day?
Yeah, we've seen John McGuinness up on stage. Obviously, they were all like everyone up on stage.
Did you watch the quiz show that day?
Yeah, we watched I think it were Visor Down quiz show.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good day out, really.
Yeah.
Kids are I think kids are £1.
Kids were £1, I think.
So it's well worth going down. There's so much stuff to look at. Like, even if you just want to go around.
It's crazy how big it is. Like, you get in there and you're like, it's quite big, and then you walk around the other bit, and as you're walking down, you see a whole nother hall, and you just see the big pillars coming round, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like massive.
Yeah.
You sometimes forget how big it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could go a couple of days. I would advise, like, if you're wanting to get booked into stuff, like they do. I wish I'd have done it this time, so you can get on like some enduro bikes and have a little razz around, like a bit of an enduro section. That's a bit better than where Hudson went on the. You did that last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
But you were all right, because what bike was you on? Can you remember?
I was on this year, I think
Husky?
I was on. No, it weren't. It were, I think KTM or something.
Were it?
Yeah, I don't know, but it might have been a
It was good though, wasn't it?
gas or whatever.
Just small.
Yeah,
They didn't let you put speed on full.
Yeah, so they were like speeds, and like at first they put you on for speed 1. It's like super slow. Like it gets up and it goes zoo, and then
you can only just jump on it.
You could only like just jump on it on speed.
It was a good little track as well.
Yeah, and they put you up onto speed 2, and they said it went up to like speed 12, and speed 2 were fast. Like, it went up to speed 3. Yeah, it went up to speed 3, but the restriction said you could only go up to speed 2 because of insurance and stuff. But speed 2 were like quite fast, and then
quite nippy. Fell off a couple of times.
I fell off a couple of times. Took in front. And then after, as I was getting changed, I was like, what's like top speed? And he said, well, there's like 12 modes in total. I was like, wow.
I'd have to look at how fast it went then. But yeah, so that was like super cool. We met John Rambo come down there, so he come down there. We met his mate Richard.
Yeah.
He come down there as well. You went on simulator thing, TT simulator.
Yeah, we're
pretty cool, like seeing Luca again, because I don't think we'd seen Luca that first time we've seen him.
No, because we
went out the night before.
We went out the night before.
Went for a meal with Nick
for a meal.
Anna and Steve. Oh yeah, because it was Luca's birthday.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then we went to Motorcycle Live day after from Steve.
Yeah.
So yeah. Really cool. And then fast forwarding to what we've been up to last week. So Hudson finalised the last bit of the recording for the Motion Focus documentary that's upcoming. Have I plugged that enough yet? So yeah, that's the final part. Hudson recorded it. So he come down, recorded Hudson out on his Ossett bike where we normally go out like training. We go for a mess around there, certainly.
Yeah, we do.
So we all went down there. He got out drone and whatever not recorded. Then we went to All Seasons to do the interview part. We did a photo shoot with all the new All Seasons race owning that we've got down there as well.
We did like an interview inside. So Motion Focus Media, it's like set up all his like lighting,
pro camera equipment,
and everything inside.
So while we were recording that, we were outside. We were outside setting all that up. But yeah, we kind of had like a day recording because we went out. So obviously you'll see it was snowing that morning.
Yeah, it was.
So I thought we were like going to cancel really, but we were like, no, it'll be amazing. Which obviously, if you look at the trailer, which I can flash up now, trailer looks amazing. You can see like some drone work where it's panning across the drone work. You can see a little bit of the interview bit, so obviously you can see a little bit of a preview of that, a little bit of slow-mo Hudson on the bike, driving through looking cool as anything. So yeah, it was super excited, and we're really excited, and like Motion Focus, they're really excited as well. And again, we'd like to thank him for giving us this opportunity. He told us back at Three Sisters
Three Sisters
he'd like to do this documentary. And obviously, and then I kind of like thinking, obviously he's been recording a lot of Hudson this year, so he's got a lot of footage to look back on as well. So yeah, it's going to be super cool. Really excited, and can't thank him enough. And as well as that, he's like super excited about it as well. Put it this way, when we'd done all the footage on that day on Sunday, he unbelievably smashed together that trailer like that night, because he was just like super excited to get the footage up that we'd done. He's like, oh, this is going to be amazing.
And like we were watching the trailer, and then it stopped, and we're like, no. Like, we want to know more. Yeah,
so anybody who can click on that, and the link will be in the description there. So it's not going to be on Hudson's channel, it's going to be on Motion Focus Media's channel, which is a Watch Your Story, which is, I think it's going to be episode 3, that. So if you want to have a little bit of a preview, and I'd highly recommend doing this. That he did one with Chrissy Rouse, God bless him, and he did one with David Todd as well.
Yeah.
So like unbelievably, like episode 1 is Chrissy Rouse, episode 2's David Todd, episode 3 is Hudson Cooper, little old Hudson Cooper from Sheffield. But you can kind of get a little bit of an idea of what it's going to be like. And I mean, them other 2 documentaries, what he's done before, are absolutely unbelievable. So links in the description for them. Head over to his channel, press like and subscribe to his channel and hit
Yeah.
that notification bell, because that's where you're going to be able to watch it. Obviously, you'll see us sharing it on social media.
Yeah.
So that pretty much wraps up, I think,
There's time
everything
at
there.
Motorcycle Live, and there's time.
Yeah, covered
Recording
everything there.
Yeah, it's everything.
So busy. Squeezing in this podcast now.
Yeah.
We are. What are we doing? We're heading into the weekend. It's going to be B&B Winter Series round 2 on Saturday.
Yeah.
At Stretton in reverse. Hudson's probably going to be racing a mini motor again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, weather's going to be nice.
Hopefully, weather's going to be on his side.
Hopefully, we're going to have some intermediate tyres. And if not, hopefully, it's going to be dry.
Yeah.
So yeah, really looking forward to that as well. Being out on us, it's same old story. So yeah. So that's pretty good, and we've got a little bit of flat tracking coming up in between Christmas and New Year, I think.
Yeah.
So that wraps up.
Yeah, it wraps up everything.
The pre-Christmas episode. So we'll not bore you with everything. Make sure that you're following all the socials at Hudson Kai Cooper, hashtag HKC217. Don't forget, you can watch this episode on YouTube, and if you're watching it on YouTube, don't forget you can listen to this episode. If you want to listen to it, search for it on Spotify. You can find it on iTunes. You can watch it on Spotify, and it's available on audio everywhere. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share it out if you can. Head back to the previous other 2 episodes, which are definitely worth a watch, with Hudson and Pete Boast, and Hudson and Peter Hickman. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody's support. We've had a really good response from the other 2 interviews. We've got an exciting interview coming up. I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze that in before the new year.
I don't think.
We can't disclose that information. Got some exciting news about potentially what we're going to be doing next year. Really excited.
Yeah.
So make sure everybody has a good Christmas, has a good time. As you can see, just Hudson's got his little Christmas tree behind there. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for your support this year. Just shout out to everybody who's got Patreon. If you'd like to support us by Patreon, head over to patreon.com/HKC217. I'll be giving out gifts and cards and whatever not for everybody who's a Patreon member, from £1 to X amount, up to full-fledged title sponsors. So we're whipping all them around this next week.
Yeah.
We've done a few little special gifts for some people as well. That's super cool. We had something done especially for every single Patreon as well that nobody knows about yet. So yeah, massive thanks for everybody's support. If you'd like to sign up by Patreon, head over to the website. You can sign up for £1 a month, and every single penny goes towards everything that we're doing. Really,
it really helps.
It really helps. Yeah. So thanks everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.